story, right? So it was like in 2018, I met this girl, and I remember at that point in time, I was very depressed. I started off my career as a YouTuber. I had a lot of free time in my hand. But because of that, I remember it caused like a lot of depression because I didn't know what to do with my time. And I remember I was on my way to go to an ayahuasca retreat because I was pretty sad. So in my mindset was that I was looking for some distractions. I was looking for something to make me feel good. And then all of a sudden I met this Mexican girl, and she looked like one of those girls from Guadalajara, you know, the white skin, and it usually not my type, to be honest with you. Seriously, she was beautiful retrospectively, but in that time she wasn't my type. And I remember the first time we went on a date, we went to we were in the Lower East Side in Alphabet City in New York City. Very great area. I got mugged there one time. I got hit by a crackhead. Long story. I had a chipped tooth. Anyways, man. Don't be hanging around crackheads. And then we went on a few dates. No, we went on the first date. It was great. We had great chemistry. That's what I noticed about her, is that I liked spending time with her. Like we had a great connection. So, oh, you put these burgers. Shut up. Focus on the story. So we went out, and she went back to my place on the first date, and you know, I was like, oh shit, she's hot, right? She did some freaky shit too, right? Honestly, some freaky shit. Like, she was the type of girl, I remember her saying that, it's crazy, here we go, it might be a little too personal, right? But she was like, I like it. she was like, I like it when you fuck me and I go home without showering. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, makes me feel like a slut. I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, easy there, man. I'm gonna call Trump, man. But the first date, so we did it the first date, and I remember walking downstairs with her, and I was like, hey, you can't stay tonight. She was like, okay, don't worry, I like that, I don't mind. And I'm like, bitch, like, where the tears at? Like, you know, where the tears at? And the whole time, like, for example, when I would have let her stay over, she never showed anger. When I had to cut the date short, she never showed anger. In fact, sometimes she was the one cutting the date short. Right? And I remember the way she texted me. She would take a long ass motherfucking time to respond. She would take like fucking 10 hours to respond to me. 8, 10 hours, but she always responded. So it kept me engaged. But because she was so slow to respond, it made me impatient. But when she did respond, it released a lot of dopamine because I'm like, oh my God, I thought she wasn't gonna respond. And mind you, at that time, I was sad, I was depressed. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the way to go from a superficial, just friends with benefits relationship is one, you guys have to get along. You guys have to get along with each other. If you do not get along with the person, this strategy is not gonna work, right? Because the chemistry, the unexpected chemistry is what makes you wanna be around them. Much better, right? The unexpected chemistry is what makes you want to be around them, right? And the more you spend time with them, as time passes by, that chemistry is going to start to crystallize you in their minds, right? But without the chemistry, without you having a genuine chemistry with them, this cannot happen. Because what happens is that when you're away, you're gonna realize how much fun you have with this person, right? So it's not really about the sex that creates the bond. It's the spending time with each other. So as you spend time with them, and all you're having is just sex and not expecting anything in return, things creep up on you. It's like a drug addiction, right? When you use drugs, the way that people get addicted is that it's not that they choose to get addicted. You don't say, oh my God, I want to get addicted to crack. You spend time with crack, okay? You spend time with little cracky. And each time you do, you realize, you know what? Cracky is a nice guy. Cracky makes me laugh. Cracky makes me high. And each time you do it, then the next time you finish doing the crack, you want to do more and more. And then you find yourself addicted to it. You find yourself loving the person. But how do you know that? By you strategically pulling away. Strategically pulling away from the person will cause them to realize that they're addicted to you, to realize that you're addicted to crack. So, but you have to make sure you choose the right person. And after this little monologue, I'm gonna show you guys how to make sure this strategy is gonna work on them, right? But remember about the pulling away part. You have to pull back strategically. So what she did, she was consistent. right? She always said yes, but she always took a long time to say yes, right? So she was consistent but slow about it, right? And so that's the thing, is that if you want to go from a situationship to something serious, you have to make them suffer for you a little bit. You have to make them spend a lot of energy just to get a response from you, right? So you're super friendly, super nice, but at the same time, kind of distant, right? And that distance is that you respond but late. You say yes but late, right? And that type of stuff, if somebody genuinely likes you, it'll react. But how do you know they genuinely like you? By how they react to you, right? How they react. From the start, they like you, right? From the start, you feel a chemistry. It's not intense, but one of the things that you notice and they notice is that they get along with you. The problem is that sometimes this kind of chemistry is one way, right? Where you only feel it, and because you feel it, you think they feel it. But sometimes it's two-way, right? It's not all the time, but sometimes it is. And how do you know it's two-way? Well, because they react to you the way you react. When they take a long time to respond, you get impatient. When you do the same thing, mirroring them, like we talked about in yesterday's video about the most powerful strategy a woman needs is mirroring. When you start to mirror them, you'll notice that they're gonna stop mirroring your slow response, and they're gonna start speeding up the response time because they feel like the wait time is too strong, right? So you mirror them, you make them wait a little bit longer, you play on their impatience, and if they truly like you, you'll notice that you giving less effort causes them to give more effort. Now, how do you know this is gonna work on them? Well, the most important thing is that you gotta make sure that you choose the right victim, according to Robert Greene.
Choose the right victim. Everything depends on the target of your seduction. Study your prey thoroughly and choose only those who will prove susceptible to your charms.
In other words, choose only those who react to you. Choose only those that after 2 or 3 weeks, you notice them getting more deeply liking you. And the thing is, again, they're not going to know they're falling for you. That's the thing, right? They're not going to know they're falling in love with you. They just notice that they like spending time with you. So it's almost like it has the same effect that friendships do, where you slowly like each other. How? Through the mere exposure effect. You see them all the time, and the more you see them, the more familiar you become with them. The more familiar you become, the more you're gonna miss them when they're not around. And anytime they pull away, you'll realize, you know what? This is not just a normal friendship.
The right victims are those for whom you can fill a void, who see in you something exotic. They're often isolated or at least somewhat unhappy.
Right, exactly, right? And I told you, I was kind of sad. I was depressed. And trust me, nowadays, there's a lot of depressed motherfuckers out there. So this is not a hard thing to do. Make sure you get the one that's Ozempic. I'm kidding.
Perhaps because of recent adverse circumstances, or can easily be
or inflation.
Made so. For the completely contented person is almost impossible to seduce. The perfect victim has some natural quality that attracts you. The strong emotions this quality inspires will help make your seductive maneuvers seem more natural and dynamic.
So that means that you can't just fake it, you know?
The perfect victim allows for the perfect chase.
Meaning that they react to you. You don't have to be calling me all the time and saying, Father Alex, the strategy is not working. I'm like, no, the strategies are working.
Throughout life, we find ourselves having to persuade people to seduce them. Some will be relatively open to our influence, if only in subtle ways, while others seem impervious to our charms. Perhaps we find this a mystery.
And those people who are impervious to our charm, we avoid like the plague. So you want to just go after those who like you back. You want to go after those who, when you pull away, they take a step forward, right? And what you have to understand is that, like I said, 15% of situationships end up being a relationship. And I believe if you watch my channel, I think it's 25%. Because most likely, the majority of people in situationships, the reason why it doesn't work out is because they over pursue. They get needy and creepy. They push the other person away, just like I did with that girl. I remember I pushed her away. I remember I used to be so needy around her that I know damn well, because I was so depressed, I know that's why she lost interest. And I truly believe to this day, if I would have just been a little more relaxed, man, nigga, like, God damn, like, give her some space, it would have worked out. But the problem was that she just took too long to respond. She did respond, and the emotional distance. And then I realized later in life when I chatted with her a few years later is that she had a girlfriend, and she was experimenting with dudes, and I was a Frankenstein, people. And all of a sudden, that's when it made me realize that, oh no, it wasn't personal, right? Like, she's just like that, you know what I'm saying? And all of those years I blamed myself, and in reality, it was just a personality. It was just her personality type. So remember, for them to go in a situationship from liking you to loving you, there has to be an emotional need for you. So they either have to be depressed, this is true, have an emotional void inside, move to a new city, new country, and they feel lonely. And by having that emotional gap in their hearts and you filling it up with your presence, whenever you pull away, naturally because of loneliness or depression, it causes people to gravitate towards you because they have nobody else to go to, right? But this strategy, though, can only work if you know how to have a hint of coldness, right? Because what she did is that she was close but distant, right? She wanted to see me, but when I didn't want to see her, there was no pouting. In fact, sometimes she fucking celebrated, right? And that distance, with me being depressed and her giving me some comfort, like a drug, it made me crave her. Now, let me tell you the line that she said to me that made me fall in love. This was the one line. It was like a one-punch knockout, people. It was legit a one-punch knockout. She looked at me one day and she was like, you know what? We will make really good-looking kids. And she said that as a compliment because we were both, you know, good looking. And I'm like, yeah, we would. And I didn't think about it. And then she said that one more time a few weeks later, just to say it. And I didn't think it was needed because she was so distant. I was like, there's no way this bitch, she don't really believe that. But because she was so distant, it allowed her to say that to me without me feeling creeped out. But if she would have said that and I saw her as a needy person, it would have definitely turned me off. So I remember when she pulled away a few times, I started thinking of that. And the thought of me and her having a kid would just get going more and more. And I'm like, holy shit, I think I like this person. But the thought of me and her having a kid was really the thought. And she implanted that by saying the compliment, and then she immediately changed the topic. That's the key. She immediately changed the topic. She didn't like, oh, let's call him Tyrone, none of that bullshit. She didn't really get into it. She just put the idea in my mind and changed the topic. And when she pulled away, that was the seed that sprouted as love. And it was really powerful. And I don't recommend you guys doing that as someone that you're not intentionally trying to make somebody fall in love. But this line was one of the few one-punch knockouts I've experienced in my life. And this is how superficial sex can sometimes lead to love, people. It's not for everyone. If you guys are in a similar situation to that and you guys want to work with me to get you out of that situationship, just click on the description down below where it says work with me, and you'll be able to tell me whatever situation you're going through and I could give you guys some guidance, okay? Anyway, see you guys in the next video, and hopefully I want to hear from you guys. How are your situationships? Are you in that type of situation? Tell us, give us questions, have people in the comment sections help you out. They watch my channel, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how can I purchase all of your courses in one go? Well, if you guys want to purchase all of them, you guys can join the Mindful Attraction University, people. Yeah, that's right. And in this, you'll be able to access all of my courses for $3.99. Initially, if you purchase all of my courses, Emotional Mastery, Psychological Game of Attraction, my new course, The Feminine Woman, Natural Chemistry, Charisma Blueprint, Nice Girl, you guys can purchase all of it for $600, but with the bundle deal, you guys can purchase it for $3.99. Or you guys can purchase it in 3 easy payments of $125, people. Yeah, that's right. Or you guys can purchase it with the bonuses. So you not only do you get the courses, but the bonuses. And that comes down to $7.99 or 4 easy and mindful payments of $199. Now, these bonuses are not regular bonuses. These bonuses are legit, almost like courses within a course, right? So you guys can just click on the description down below and explore the types of bonuses. For example, I have bonuses on how to get over your ex, how to become more creative, how to, especially in the Feminine Woman, I have a bonus about how to penetrate the mind and how to speak in a way that gets people to do what you want them to do. Like, it's honestly one of the craziest sections that I've ever made, because most of these courses, people, I come up with those ideas in meditation retreats. Nobody goes to the extent that I go.
I go to meditation retreat to create these courses. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask me for the money back within 14 days, and I'll give you all the money back. Father Alex has never rejected a money back offer if I offered it. So, and if you guys already purchased one of my courses, for example, and you guys want to get the bonuses while getting a discount, you know what I'm saying? I have discount codes for people who purchase my courses. So if you purchase my courses, just send me a private message. Or if you work with me one-on-one, I'll give you a big discount for the courses. And there I can help all of you guys understand that this is a movement. Most people never knew this type of knowledge before. And I am trying to empower women across the world and liberate them from these negative and one-sided relationships through these courses. So hopefully you guys can spread the message and help other people out. And I'll see you guys inside. Or else I'm close to